Hello everyone. So today here we will be discussing about PLCs. What is PLC and how it is working? What are the different classifications of PLC? What are modular and what are non-modular PLCs? How different the types of IOs are very important in case of PLCs. All these things we'll be discussing in today's lecture. So here I am having a PPT in which we'll be discussing about PLC. So here we'll be looking at what is PLC. A PLC is a programmable logic controller, also called as PLC or programmable controller, is a computer type device used to control equipments in an industry. See, industries may be of process level industry or it may be a machine level industries. So there are many different parameters which are to be controlled. So in order to control them, we'll be using PLCs here so that our complete process gets automated. So there may be different types of control valves and many other final control elements which are to be controlled using PLCs itself. So later we'll be discussing what are the different types of IOs, basically input and output. So it may be a digital or analog. So what is digital and what is analog, that is also an important part of industrial automation system. So here the next point here is the kind of equipments that PLCs can control are varied as industrial facilities themselves. So obviously if it is a process level industries, then most of the process parameters we need to observe and control them. So there will be analog inputs and analog output also. So next point here is the utility plant batch control application, obviously sequential programming will be required. Similarly, chemical processing requires analog programming, that means process level of programming. Conveyor systems, food processing machineries, auto assembly lines, etc. All these are the examples of different processes which are to be controlled using PLC itself. So in the next PPT here we'll be looking at see, here we are having a picture in which there is a computer system which is connected to the processor of PLC. So there is a programming cable actually used here to connect the PLC with PC. So as per our process requirement or whatever we need to control, whatever signal we need to observe, we will be programming our PLC using computer system itself. So programming depends totally on what kind of process is going on inside the plant. So there is a programming software which is present inside the computer itself, which can program our PLC. There are different types of languages also we'll be using, such as ladder language, function block diagram, and many other languages are used that we'll be looking at in the next slides. So first of all, where there will be large number of inputs, there can be many number of inputs that can be of a push button. If we talk about digital signals, they can be from push buttons, or we can say it can be from proximity sensors and many other digital sensors like limit switch, etc. And these signals will be the input to the PLC, and accordingly, as per the program written inside the PLC will be controlling the output, whether it can be a digital output or analog output. See, if we are talking about, first of all, here, if it is a bulb, so bulb will be having only two states, either it can be on or off. Similarly, if you talk about motors, it has both the states. Digitally it will be turning on and off, and in analog form it will be varying its speed of the rotation. Okay, so motors speed can be varied as per our requirement. Similarly, we can also control the state of relay. See, here we are having a coil, and this coil is energized from the output of the PLC, and accordingly switching is taking place. So now in the next slide, see, here we are having advantages of PLCs. In addition to the programming flexibility, obviously the PLCs can be programmed as per our requirement multiple times. We can delete the previous program and again reload the next program whatever is required, or we can also update the same program also. Okay, so all these facilities are available in PLCs only. So in addition to the programming flexibility, just mentioned, PLCs offer other advantages over traditional computer systems. So there are many other advantages also. So here first is high reliability. Yes, because the size is small, so it is highly reliable to use PLCs because large number of inputs can be observed, or we can connect a large number of input terminals to the PLC, and accordingly we can control a large number of outputs also. So small space requirement, obviously it is a very, as compared to relay logic system, it requires very less amount of space because it has its own memory, and very less space is required to connect the terminals of the sensors, right? So next point here is computing capabilities. See, the PLCs can perform arithmetic logic and various other logics. Relays and contactors can't do all these things. So arithmetic operations and various other uh, processes can be performed using PLCs only, which were not available in case of relays and contactors. Then, so the next point here is reduced cost. Reduced cost means what? Overall, if you see, the PLCs can work for a long time as compared to relays which require maintenance after few days. Even the relays may burn, or all these things will happen, so we need to replace them. Okay, so all these things are not present in PLCs, so PLCs can work for a long time. So uh, in terms of long time, if we consider, it has a very less cost as compared to the maintenance of relays and contactors. So next point here is ability to withstand harsh environment. So obviously, industries have very harsh environment, so it is very necessary that we will be using such components which can withstand for a long time even in the harsh environment. So PLCs have a very good capability of doing this. Okay, similarly expandability. If the number of IOs are increased or decreased, we can increase or decrease the number of IOs as per our requirement. If the process has gone so long, so we can include more number of IOs inside the same PLC. Okay, so modular and non-modular type of PLCs are there that will be looking in which PLCs we can increase the number of IOs, and in which it is not possible. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand what are the different types of signals used in PLCs before understanding more about the PLC system. So here we are having digital signals. Digital signals will be having only two states. Either it can be on or off state. So in on state, it will be producing 24 volt of signal, or it will be accepting 24 volt of signal. Similarly, in off state, it will be having 0 volt of signal. So in case of analog signals are basically continuously varying signals. So it will be varying as per the process parameter from 0 to 100%. Okay, so it can take any value from 0 to 100%. So these range can be converted into form of 4 to 20 milliampere signal, which is the input for PLC, or it can also be the output from the PLC as per our process requirement. So in the next slide, we'll be seeing types of PLCs. There are different types of PLCs. Here we have divided it into three categories. So first here is based on size. In If you talk about based on size, nano PLCs and micro PLCs are basically the small series PLCs which have very less number of IOs. Similarly, if you talk about medium series PLCs, we have some medium range of IOs, and similarly in large series of PLCs we have large number of IOs present. So as per the process demand, or as per the machine requirement, we will be selecting the PLC whether we require a small series PLC, medium series, or large series PLCs. So the next point here is based upon the hardware setup. So based upon the hardware setup means what? There are two categories: compact PLCs and modular PLCs. In compact PLCs, we have only limited number of IOs. We can't add more number of IOs if demanded. it has only fixed number of IOs. We cannot increase or decrease the number of IOs present inside the compact PLC. Similarly, if you talk about modular type of PLC, here the modular type of PLC has each and every module individually. So we can also increase or decrease the analog outputs or analog input card, digital output or digital input cards. So as per the requirement, we can increase the number of IOs in case of modular type of PLC. Similarly, based on power supply requirements, PLCs again can be categorized into two forms, with SMPS and without SMPS. In with SMPS, we will be having an SMPS which will be used for converting the signal from 230 volt to 24 volt, and then it will be given to the PLC. But in case of without SMPS, the PLC has inbuilt power supply conversion system, which will be taking, the PLC will directly take 230 volts and convert the signal into 24 volt inside itself. That means there will be no requirement of SMPS. So it is called without SMPS type of PLC. So in the next slide, we have already discussed about all these things. So nano and micro PLCs will be obviously the small series PLCs, medium series and large series PLCs. Similarly, in compact and modular type of PLCs, in case of compact PLCs, we are having, see, this type of PLC will be having which has fixed number of IOs. Fixed number of IOs means what? We cannot increase or decrease the number of IOs present inside the PLC. Similarly, it has all the things inbuilt inside it, whether it is memory, whether it's processor, all the things are built inside the same box. So this type of PLC is called a compact type of PLC. Similarly, if you talk about modular type of PLC, this is how is the design of modular type of PLC. Different brands have different types of modular type of PLC. So modular type of PLCs can be used where there is a large process in which a large number of IOs are required, and the number of IOs can also be varied in case of modular type of PLCs that is already discussed. Okay, so here also this is also I have discussed earlier, PLCs with SMPS and PLCs without SMPS. So obviously, if the PLC is with SMPS, that means the PLC needs 24 volt of supply, which so it has to be converted into 24 volt, because we will be getting 230 volts. 230 volt signal has to be converted into 24 volt before giving to the PLC. Similarly, if you talk about PLCs without SMPS, so it has inbuilt system to convert the 230 volt signal into 24 volt of signal. So it is what? Without SMPS type of PLC. So thank you.